How's it going, guys? Cameron here with Canadian Gamer coming at you with another video. A couple of things to talk about here. The first thing is I want to sort of address this because I can't wrap my head around it. So there's like a niche group within the retro gaming community that already have YouTube channels, okay? They've already got an established subscriber base, whether it be, I'll just throw out a round number, 600 or maybe 1,100 subscribers as an example. And in some cases, these channels, it took he or she or he or him, upwards of 7, 8, 9 years to amass the amount of followers that he or him or he or she has. Whether it be from other people giving said channel a shout out or whatever be the case. We're seeing some of these channels, some of these YouTubers, and they're trying their hand at Rumble, okay, which is like a second tier social media platform, a startup, if you will. Very similar to Dailymotion or Vimeo. And it's just hilarious to see that because you're seeing these channels jump over to Rumble and they have like 6 or 7 subscribers because nobody's on Rumble. Let's be honest here. They're all basically, everybody who watches videos like this one you're watching today are typically going to YouTube. Let's be honest here. So I just can't wrap my head around it how someone would want to continue to post videos on YouTube because they don't want to give up their sub base, okay? They feel like it's this sacred thing that they've amassed. Oh my god, I'll never shut down my YouTube channel. Oh my god, I have 600 subscribers. Oh my god. But yet it takes time to upload a video. It doesn't take that long, but it takes time. Depending if you edit the video and all the rest of it, then you upload it. And then to take the same video and then upload it to another social media platform for the sake of a couple of subscribers, because by the time you get 600, 700, 800, 1,000 subscribers on Rumble, it'll be like the year 2049, okay? God. So I just have to laugh about that when I see that. So Rumble is not the second coming of Christ, okay? Like some of these YouTubers are making it out to be. And it's just a fucking waste of time to have to go over to another social media platform and start the whole process all over again. And then try to maintain your existing account on YouTube because you don't want to give up the ghost. So you're doing double the work. You're uploading on 2 platforms. Oh my god. Oh my god. I can't fucking wrap my head around that. The next thing I want to talk about very briefly here, already at almost the 4-minute mark. The month of September and October is going to be kind of stressful as far as gaming is concerned. We're getting hit with a barrage of really good games. Okay, we're getting hit with Starfield, Alan Wake 2. For those who have a Switch, you're getting Super Mario Wonder. We're getting Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. Don't know if that's going to be any good or not. We are also getting the new RoboCop Rogue City game. And there's a couple of other games that are coming out in and around September, October as well. There's a new Forza Motorsport game. But there was a couple other, I just can't think of them off the top of my head. But yeah, it's going to be a crazy month of September, October, November. It's going to be intense. Especially for me, because I feel like, once Alan Wake 2 comes out, I'm really going to want to play that, but I'm going to be knee-deep in Starfield, so it's going to be hard to play them at the same time. I'm not quite sure. And then, again, Quake 2 Remastered just recently came out as well. So, yeah, craziness. Lots of good games coming out. So, I don't know. It's going to be pretty stressful. And I'm not the type of person that really wants to rush myself through a game like Starfield. I want to sort of take my time. So, I'm not quite sure how I am going to tackle that. This should be interesting. So, I want to know, leave it in the comments below. What are your thoughts on this upcoming in a couple of weeks, upcoming busy schedule of games that are being released. It's going to be fun, but it's going to be stressful at the same time. So leave it in the comments below. The last thing I want to talk about here, a little bit of a VR to Megadan29. He had posed the question, what is your favorite video game controller? I kind of want to sort of I want to kind of sort of take my... Wow! I want to kind of take my own perspective on this and maybe put it out there as the best controller of all time. Maybe not, my favorite, but what is the best controller of all time? A lot of gamers out there gravitate towards the Xbox 360. And now, I like the Xbox 360 controller, but I don't think it's perfect. Now, this is a 360 controller I picked up, I want to say last year. And this one here has, it's never been used. The thumbsticks are absolutely dead mint on it. However, having used the 360 controller over the years, I have had my share of problems with it. The biggest issue I have had with the Xbox 360 controller is the start and select button sticking. And I've had these buttons stick as well. And the thumbsticks wear out prematurely. These ones are really good shape. As a matter of fact, these thumbsticks are like a different style of thumbstick. This isn't how the thumbsticks looked on the initial release of this controller. You can see this one's a little bit different, right? So, yeah, I like the 360 controller. I really do like how you can easily remove the AA batteries. So if you're watching a movie or YouTube or something and you don't want to waste the batteries on the controller, you can easily unclip the back piece to disengage the batteries and shut the controller off. At least that's what I do. That being said, if you do that too often, you're running the risk that you might damage the pin connectors on the back of the controller. But we're getting a little bit off topic here. So yeah, the 360 controller, I think it's an amazing controller. I would put it probably in my top 5 of all time. However, I would put the original Xbox controller above it. These are indestructible. I've never had any issues with sticky buttons. I've never, for the most part, had much issues with the thumbsticks. They do kind of wear out as well over time. But I would put the 360, this version of the 360 controller, I don't know what they called this one. I can't remember. They re-released it, right? There was the Duke controller, which I don't have, so I can't comment. I've always wanted a Duke controller, but I don't have one. And this was the re-released 360, original Xbox controller. So this one here would be my number one, I would say. This is probably the best controller ever made, in my opinion, okay? However, it's almost a tie. I've got another one I want to show here as well. A bit of a caveat on this one. So Megadan29 talked about how he likes the PS2 controller and he's never had any problems with the PS2 controller. And that's fine. Maybe that's the case. But from my own personal experience, I've had nothing but problems with PS2 controllers. I've had thumbsticks that are just like completely off-kiltered. Controllers that have completely stopped working. But most of the time, it's the issue I've had with the thumbsticks. And the PS2 controller is really cheap compared to a PS1 controller. Now, Dan talked about not really liking the PS1 controller as much. But man, I don't know. Maybe you can clarify, because you're saying you don't like the D-pad on the PS1 controller. But this is a PS1 controller I have for DualShock 1. And it has the same D-pad. And this one has the thumbsticks. And it has an extra long cord as well. So this one here, I have specifically this controller, okay, neck and neck with the original Xbox controller. The reason why I say that is because with this one here, I know it looks identical to the PS2 controller, but it's not. I'm telling you it's not. This one has a hefty weight to it. We've talked about it before on the channel. Way better build quality. This thing is heavy. This thing might even be heavier than this. And I've never had an issue with the thumbsticks on this one. It's just really good quality. I lucked out when I picked up this PS1 controller. This is a revised PS1 controller. Obviously, the first PS1 controllers didn't have the thumbstick. So yeah, this one here in particular, This one here, I don't know if you can see that, Dan. This one here is head and shoulders above the PS2 controller. I am telling you, you need to be able to hold this in your hands and you'll be like, holy shit, look how weighty this is, okay? This is like a vintage Mercedes, you know? You close the door on those cars, it was like a bank vault, okay? And this is like a modern Mercedes, okay? Mass produced, the quality has suffered, okay? Cheap plastics all around, okay? Whereas this is nothing but quality. So if you're asking me, you know, what's my favorite controller of all time? Maybe I would put the OG Xbox controller on there. I really love it a lot. I find the rumble on this controller is better than the rumble on the Xbox 360 controller and even the Xbox One Series controller. But yeah, this one is amazing. I don't actually use this as my daily driver. I use my PS2 controller. It's because I don't want to wear this one out. I want to keep it nice, if I'm being honest with you. But I digress. So that's it. I just wanted to quickly do a little bit of a VR to Dan. Hope you guys are doing well. And I'm going to cut it off there right at the 12-minute mark. And I got lots going on here at the house and other stuff going on. And maybe we'll talk about that in a separate video. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for me. Thanks so much for watching. You people are wonderful and beautiful. You take care.